All right. Fire them up. What's going on, everybody? Happy 2025, and welcome back to the Genre of Your Life podcast, a show all about movies, TV, and why we love entertainment. This is episode number 66, I want to believe. I could be wrong, but it is the first episode of the new year. I am one of your hosts, Doug Jones. With me, as always, are my amazing co-hosts and two of the best friends in the world. First off, we have the amazing, incredible, it's Mr. Nick Johnson. How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend. Happy 2025, brother.
Happy 2025.
We made it.
Barely. We made it. That's the important part. Oh, yeah.
And last but not least, he's back, everyone. Mr. Hollywood himself, Mr. LA. It's the amazing, the wonderful, the incredible. It's Mr. Moses Sly. What's up, my friend? How's it going? Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad you guys are here with us and everything. I know it's going to be a great year, not just for, us. And it's going to be a great year for the show, too, as well. And we got so many things to talk about. And, we're ready to get started, ready to get started.
Yes, sir. We have a lot in store for everyone this year. We just hit over 4,000 Instagram followers. So go us, boys. We're doing
Let's
it.
Go.
We're doing it, man. We're doing it. We're doing it, boys.
Let's go.
Which is really huge. If you ask me, I remember thinking about 2 years ago, we were at like 50 followers after the first month of doing this, and now we're at over 4,000, which is 4, crazy, which is absurd. And yeah, we're still going up. Again, we have an amazing audience that keeps listening to us every week. Thank you for listening to us ramble every week about movies and TV, why we love entertainment, because this is our passion. We all, we speak movies and TV. That is our language. So we have a lot in store for you 2025, a lot in the pipeline, from screenings to events to festivals to conventions. Like, we have so much to cover for you all this year. So we are starting out the year with a bang. So make sure to tune in to us every week this year, because we have a new episode every week on the podcast. When you now find a full audio, our full video podcast now on YouTube, youtube.com/Midway Avenue Productions. And of course, we have our audio show still on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, or if you get your podcast needs met. Of course, my friends, for our Apple Podcast listeners, this year our goal really is, more than ever, is 200 Apple Podcast ratings. That is the heart and soul of filmmaking podcasts and critics and reviewers. So the more reviews we get on Apple Podcasts, we have more opportunities to do more events, more interviews, screenings, stuff like that, more opportunities for all of us here at the show. So please rate, review the show, subscribe, tell your friends about us, your family, movie fans, coworkers, whoever, because it really does mean a lot to us, all the support. And again, so thank you so much for listening last year. We had a tremendous year last year with growth and audience and a lot of views and kind of analytics. So the boys said we have a 2025 in store for you all. So stay tuned, everybody. With that said, this is going to be our recap of 2024 in movies, our top 10 of the year for all three of us. But before we do that, we have a review that we're supposed to get out this week. So and that is Robert Eggers' NOSFERATU, which is, I believe, his, was it fourth movie, right, Nick?
I think so, because he did The Witch, The Witch, NOSFERATU.
Northman.
Thank you.
Then he did the Lighthouse.
Yep.
The Lighthouse. Thank you. Yep. I think, because was that it?
I want to say it's it. I want to say that, So Witch, Northman, not in order. Witch, Lighthouse, Northman, and then NOSFERATU. So this is his fourth film. And second with Focus Features Universal, and I could get 2 A24 and 2 Focus Universal. So this is fourth film and second with Universal and Focus Features. And NOSFERATU, which basically, if you don't know, NOSFERATU is kind of like, right, Nick? It's like, right, boys? It's like the official Dracula adaptation.
Yeah. Because I'm murky on the history, but I remember in the 30s there was a NOSFERATU film, and then they obviously they remade. But one thing I noticed was this film, like how the story progressed, it was similar to the Dracula film with it was with Gary Oldman as Dracula. Keanu Reeves played a character very similar to Nicholas Holtz. A writer in that film played a character who was similar to Lily Depp Rose in this one, and so I don't know if like NOSFERATU is just Dracula basically, but I just noticed like the stories were pretty like the stories and the story beats were pretty similar. But the full on history of the characters, I'm not 100% on, but yeah. And this is the only Nosferatu movie I've seen. Like I do want to see the original one. But no, this movie was good. Let me tell you something about Robert Eggers, man. Like this
Go ahead,
motherfucker
Nick.
don't miss. This
Take it.
motherfucker don't miss. In the heat of battle, he don't miss. Honestly, I guess that was it. That was my comment. I just wanted to.
Well, no. I'm saying for our audience, if you know Nosferatu follows the story of a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. So, again, Nick, as you are a Robert Eggers fan more than I am, I would say. The movie itself, what'd you think?
Overall, I liked it, man. Like it's and damn, that's a sick post. This post right here, I picked this up from the theater, so I have it in my house from the screening. Yeah, and it's just I like posters like this where like it's very like minimal. You know what I mean? It's not a whole lot going on, but you still get a sense of the tone of the film. But overall, man, Ratu, great film. The cast was incredible. Because going into it, I didn't realize that Aaron Taylor Johnson and Emma Corrin were gonna be in it. Forgive me because I fucked that up from the out of theater reaction. But like I liked it. I like the visuals. It was a lot of like symmetrical, balanced shots where it's like the setting and it's just like one character just standing like square in the middle of the screen. I like balanced shots like that. It was they filmed like the nighttime scenes very well, where like it didn't look like it was just day for night, where like they shoot in daytime and then they put like the blue filter on it and it looks like it's nighttime. They didn't do that.
Like this shot.
Exactly, yeah. Like it's like yes, it's like blue and gray and shit, but the way that they edited it at least makes it look like all of that light is coming strictly and only from the moonlight, or even in this shot where it's daytime, like the only light is coming in from the outside. So shots, and it's a balanced shot, like I said, like you cut it in half, it's perfectly symmetrical, balanced shot. See, I like that shit language, but so cinematography I thought was fantastic. The was superb. This is the thing I'm in so far. Like I hadn't seen Aaron Taylor in a role like this. So that was pretty cool. This is like the second movie that I've seen Emma Corrin in, but it definitely went there as far as like it's weird because I feel like it didn't really hold back as far as like the horror and the kind of bloody violent of it, and it was definitely like there was one character who was like a henchman for Nosferatu. I'm trying not to get into spoilers because I don't remember if we're doing spoilers or not, but like he was kind of like not like gradually losing his mind, but he was clearly this guy right here. This dude was insane, but it was like his performance just kind of like sucked you in. And like Willem Dafoe always fucking kills it. It was fun to see him in the movie. But I just those are the pros. The cons I would say is as much as I like the movie, Doug, you mentioned this earlier. It is focus feature, not A24, because you started off with A24. And I feel like when he switched over to focus features, it felt like his movies didn't quite. It's like it's missing a little bit of that oomph in it. You know what I mean? Like the four movies, like they were scary, they were disturbing, and it just kind of they were like unsettling, but they were like really well made. Same thing with this movie, but it felt watered down in comparison to his other stuff. And I feel like that's more so like a focus features thing and not so much just like, well, I think he's losing it as a filmmaker, because I don't think he's losing it as a filmmaker. I just think, like certain studios will kind of have like certain feels. Focus features is not A24. A24 is a little bit more
edgier.
Yeah, it's more edgy, maybe experimental, just because of how different those films typically are in comparison to like more mainstream films, even though I feel like A24 is becoming more and more mainstream.
They are.
And so but overall, man, like I did definitely like that's a dope gift. Or GIF rather. It's pronounced GIF, but I if it just sounds right to me. And the visuals in this movie were insane. But that was it though. Like I love the movie. 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Robert Eggers fan. I do think we do live in this. Unfortunately, I think we're all guilty of this at one point too. I do think when The Witch came out, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, best filmmaker ever." I'm like, he had one movie, guys. Let him make some more movies. 'Cause I think sometimes, I think also now that with the rise of digital media journalism and like us, like we do reviewers and podcasting, TikTok, whatever, is that we're very quick to be like, "Oh, this is the next big thing," whatever, blah blah blah, and it's like, let's have someone make a few movies first, and then we can say that. I think now it's like, I think Ryan Coogler has put himself that example. I think someone like Jordan Peele. I think someone like Leigh Whannell. I'm trying to think. The list goes on and on and on. But like, again, I think when Tarantino was starting up, obviously, or John Singleton, or I'm trying to think of like other filmmakers that were like, I think again Christopher Nolan, for example, too, is that like, you gotta let them do a few movies first to kind of see what they're kind of capable of. And I do think that Robert Eggers kind of like, there was just kind of like, I was like, man, not the goth audience, but like kind of like the goth, like kind of like the horror fans were like, "Oh my gosh, who is this person?" And to your point too, Nick, that when The Witch came out, it was early A24, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is A24?" It wasn't like it wasn't a mainstream studio at the time, and now it is. To your point, so I think with him, it was like, okay, like what does he have? What is he capable of? What can he do as a filmmaker? And there he is.
Right.
And I do think that I remember seeing The Lighthouse in college, and I was like, "Oh, this is really interesting." I thought it was really very well made. It's very trippy. It's very, you said too, Douglas, but very open ended. Of like, what do you think? What do you think it means? What do you think this is? Whatever. And
ambiguous.
Very ambiguous.
Very ambiguous.
And I do think someone like him, I think the Safdie brothers, the Uncle Gems, and Good Time, like they are very ambiguous filmmakers because of A24 and because of like how they came up as like kind of more indie filmmakers, obviously. I mean, Tarantino, for example, Tarantino was about like when Reservoir Dogs, when that came out, or as well as Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. I'm like, who is this guy? Who the hell is this guy? And then he really proved himself early on, and I think Robert Eggers did that, as well as now the Safdie brothers and something like Greta Gerwig. Jordan Peele, of course, too. But I do think that there was a little bit too much hype behind his movies when after they came out. Like, oh my gosh, he's like the next like this person, whatever. I'm like, well, we only saw a few of his movies, but with this, I think this is his best movie with NOSFERATU. The Northman I liked. I didn't love Northman. I thought it was really too long at times.
I'm right there with you on the Northman, because I was not so far as like the length, but it did kind of feel like how I was saying with NOSFERATU. It's like, yeah, like it's good, and it's like it's not like a watered down movie, but it's just like in comparison to your other stuff, it feels kind of watered down.
It just felt like I appreciate the brutality of the movie of the Northman, and there it is. With that said, though, I was like, man, it kind of just dragged a bit. But with that said, I do think this is his best movie. I think the sound design in this is incredible. Sound design in this movie is remarkable. Sound design, cinematography, production design, again, just blows my mind how certain shots he got, or some like kind of like the castle shots, and like the castle itself was like, wow, this is made just beautifully. And to your point too, like the whole like scenes with kind of like the steady cam, the symmetry, whatever. And the movie itself, him as a filmmaker, he reminds me of like the horror Wes Anderson. Like he's the horror Wes Anderson in terms of like, you know what I'm saying? Like look at his movies and watch Wes Anderson. It's like they're very similar in style, but they have their own kind of like flavor to it. And watching the movie, I was like, he really is the Wes Anderson of horror filmmakers, and not a bad thing whatsoever. But he knows how to get good. Knows how to kind of like really kind of dive deep into like horror and mythology and kind of like these themes of like, what does this mean? What does that mean? Like really kind of dive deep into like really kind of like eerie and sinister tones of filmmaking and storytelling. But again, from Aaron Taylor Johnson, who I think redeemed himself really quickly after Boo Boo Ass Craven, and I think, hey man, he's lucky. He's so lucky he has this movie, because if it was Craven this year, my man would have been roasted. My man would have been on a roasted. Like, hey man, who is this guy? What is he doing? And to get to at the movie, Bill Skarsgård also, who I think is just an incredible actor in general.
Yeah, unrecognizable.
Oh my god, dude.
Because it's like objectively, I know that is Bill Skarsgård, but when he's on screen, like I'm looking for Bill Skarsgård. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't even like a whole lot of like makeup or visual effects or whatever on his face, but it was just like
the voice.
The voice was different. The heavy accent was just because of the region that the character is from, and just like the way like he kind of like holds his body, like he seems like really tall, but he still like slouches over. But even though like he slouches over like that, he's still like tall as shit. Like he's just this overbearing. He's like an oppressively overbearing figure on these other characters, man. And one thing I like too about this movie, like this it's spoiler per se, but like I haven't seen a lot of vampire movies do this where like it's not just I'm not just like a being that like sucks blood and I live forever and then like I leave or like I hop onto the next victim. Like there is that, but it's also it was like his presence was just fucking up the town.
Yeah.
Like he's not even he interacted with like 3 characters or whatever, but everybody in the town was losing their minds and like everybody was like just getting sick and it's just like okay, so this man is just fucking evil. Not even like he's just a person with
fucking menace.
He's yeah, exactly. He's a fucking menace. Like not even just like he's a person with like that does like evil things. Like he has like evil aspects to him character to his own character, but it's like no, it's like you are like the essence of evil. Like you just showed up and shit went sour for everybody, even for characters he didn't even like fucking know. So it was just like how characters influence like was over the town. And again, just how like fucked up everybody and everything was getting. It was just like it was like this is just like true like it was like you were just like a cosmically evil person, man, just on like a scale hitherto undreamt of. You feel me? Like that's insane. Like he showed up to the town and everyone got sick with the plague. I never even heard of that shit before, man.
I know, right?
That's insane.
This man is walking COVID.
Bro, I showered and I read my Bible as soon as I got home from this movie, man. I was just like, yo, this dude is insane. Yeah, shit like this picture right here, just had motherfuckers bugging in this movie, man.
Dude, and I tell you, and I'll tell you what. I think everyone brings their A game to performances, and Skarsgård's lucky too because it's after the movie too is that my man was in The Crow this year, and that movie was a piece of shit. And that movie, I was like, man, my man, you're better than this. So I think both Aaron Taylor Johnson and Skarsgård both redeemed themselves this year because there were some boo boo ass movies this year.
The Crow was Bill Skarsgård's Kraven the Hunter.
Yes, Nick, bro. Spot on, my man. Absolutely. Because I was like, come on, guys. You guys are both better than this. And Nick
I'm about to grow my mustache out like Willem Dafoe in this picture. That's stash.
Well, not Nosferatu's mustache in this.
Nah, because it probably just smell like rotten, decaying flesh and maggots and shit. You could when you look at Willem Dafoe, you can tell he combs it, cleans it, maintains it. Care of it, you feel me?
Oh, also, Nick, did you know he was playing kind of like the Van Helsing character?
No, yeah, because in that was like another thing in the Gary Oldman Dracula movie. Like when we think of Van Helsing, we think like Monster Hunter. Like maybe I don't know if y'all have seen the Hugh Jackman one. Like historically, Van Helsing when he's depicted in like stories, like when he was in Bram Stoker's Dracula, he wasn't like a young like monster. Like an old man professor. It was like Dr. Abraham, and in the Gary Oldman one, he was by Anthony Hopkins. Now, yes, that shit was like 30, 40 years ago. I no disrespect to Anthony Hopkins. He's he's one of my favorite actors, but like he was still an older person like in that movie. You know what I mean? So it's like he wasn't so much like a superhero killing monsters and shit. It was like, no, like yes, I know how to kill vampires because like I've studied them, but it's more from like an academic standpoint. With Dafoe's character, it was a little bit of it was basically that, but just like they kind of played him like he was a bit of an eccentric, if I may.
Yeah.
But it was still honestly still good though. I liked it a lot, but
yeah. Like I said, I do think this is his best movie as a filmmaker. I thought like this movie to me was kind of like almost like the greatest hits of his career so far. You got a bit of Northman, you got a bit of The Witch, bit of Lighthouse in this. And I do think that like he's taken whatever he's learned so far as a filmmaker, and this movie's kind of like all kind of combined for his fourth film. And to your point too, Nick, that I do think that how this movie did really well over the weekend over Christmas break, that he's becoming more of a mainstream filmmaker now. Not in a bad way, but Moses, and you saw it as well. So I want to know your quick thoughts about it before we move on.
I mean, I won't give my actual thoughts because you know what happened when I was in the movie theater. Yeah, we won't talk about that.
We know how you are.
No. But no, I thought it was great, but I have heard that the director, one thing before I talk about the film and everything like that, I have heard that to what you were saying, Doug, about the director, how he is becoming this mainstream of a filmmaker and everything like that. I do think it's heading towards that direction of a Christopher Nolan, of a Ryan Coogler, of a Denis Villeneuve,
Yeah.
in terms of like his genre in horror, and everything. I do feel like he's basically heading towards that direction. So, which is really, really great for him, and I do think he lives, I do think he lives in that, genre. I don't feel like he needs to go anywhere else, and yeah, I just thought it was great, dude. That was probably like one of the best shot horror movies I ever seen in my life.
Oh,
You know, like
Unreal.
visually, I was just like, the shots were definitely, breathtaking for sure. You know, and especially like we talked about before, especially that shot when he was heading towards that castle and everything like that, and yeah, the very like first like minutes of the film, you know, when he was heading towards that castle, I was, like there was only a few people in that theater, in my theater that I was in, and I was just like, man, I was like, I should not be here watching this movie, because you guys know I don't watch a lot of horror films at all. So, but yeah, overall, I did think he did a great job. My favorite film, out of his four will always be, will definitely always be, The Northman for sure for me, and I just thought he did a great job, with that movie, when it comes down to the visuals, when it comes down to the story, and how things basically unfold at the end too as well. I just think they did a great job, with it. So I'm excited to see what he does next. If it's another like crazy horror, I might not be in the theater, but we'll see. We never know. But that's my take for now. Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10? Because I'm also at an 8 as well.
I thought it was great, man. I give it a 1 out of 10.
This guy.
He pulled out it's a call back from another episode where Nick was like, "Yeah, it's a good movie. I'll give it a D," and we were like, "Wait, what?" Doing our tier list movie, and
I stand by it, gosh darn it.
And Moses was like, "A D? Like, wait, what?"
Yeah, I give it a D. Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
It's my favorite movie. Probably like a 0 out of 10 if I'm being honest with you, man. It just didn't really hit for me like that. I like.
It's all right.
Oh man, I thought it was the best thing ever. I give it a D. But no, I thought I definitely come out of 1 out of 10. I for sure give it a 7.5.
Yeah,
7.5.
So we're all on the same page. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So 7.5 and everything like that. Very close to 8, of course, too as well. But if you would ask me about his Northman, from give that, the 8.5, close to 9 out of 10.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, also very well made. And I'll tell you what, I do think about his movies, I will say I do think, kind of like Sean Baker, who did Anora and Red Rocket, I do think sometimes with Sean Baker and Robert Eggers that sometimes their movies kind of feel a bit long, like kind of overstaying their welcome. Sometimes I feel that way.
It's not that they feel long. It's just that there's this new medium now, or there's this new sort of like style of like filmmaking, which is essentially, I don't know the terminology for it, but they just linger on things for a little bit longer.
I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
See what you mean. Yep,
they sit on the shot for a little bit longer than the
right.
usual film that you would go see. That's more mainstream, you would say. But they just like to sit on things more because they want an audience member to take in things a little bit more. I would even say, Denis, does this too as well, but
oh yeah,
but he does it less.
Right.
He doesn't sit on it for too long or whatever, but he sits you there just for long enough for you to be like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And you move on to the next frame. But that's his favorite. There's a word for it, but I forgot what it was. So.
And also, too, I think also for this as being his fourth movie, he's done more than other filmmakers can do in their fourth movies. Like, I mean, I get props where props is due. Like, sometimes filmmakers have like 4 movies are like, all 4 of them, 1 might be good, 2 might be okay, 3 and 4 might be eh. And also, making a movie is hard. We all know that. Well, making movies is difficult. But I do think that having, again, I think Denis, Nolan, Coogler, and Eggers, I will say, have really a good track record of like, wow, like pretty consistent with their movies. Because again, I've seen filmmakers who I admire and who I love. I think we all have. They're like, wow, that movie was really good. That one might be like, it wasn't for me. Or it might be like, hey, it was like a big hype. Then it was like, oh, this wasn't that good. So again, it's hard making a movie, obviously. But I do think that, again, I do give props that, wow, 4th film that he's done, 4 for 4 is pretty impressive so far. Again, any given talent or as a filmmaker. Another thing, too, is that I do kind of wish, again, this is my own thing. I kind of want to see them do something kind of more like maybe contemporary, like more modern day, like how he could maybe like, you know how like Baz Luhrmann did Romeo and Juliet, but for modern day. Maybe he can do something like NOSFERATU, maybe for modern day. How would you do that? Obviously, because I feel like I kind of miss Tarantino doing like a Pulp Fiction kind of like modern day stuff. Again, I hope his last movie's gonna be going back to like modern times, obviously. More a personal thing. And also, hot take. I do think Eggers is more consistent than Ari Aster is.
Break it down.
So I'm not the biggest Ari Aster fan personally, and I do think same thing happened with him too when Hereditary came out. Oh my God, best filmmaker ever! It's like he had one movie and then the short that you showed me in college, Nick. That to this day, I was
you didn't like that movie. You didn't like There's Something Wrong with the Johnsons.
To this day, I'm like, what in the actual fuck am I watching? It's well made. I'll give him that.
No, it's well made, but even me, like, to this day, I've only seen it the one time.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, I got it. Because I seen there was like a meme of like, it was like the dad's face where like he just kind of closes his eyes. I'd seen like that image a lot. And then I learned that it was from a short film and it was by Ari Aster. And this was after I saw Hereditary. So I was like, okay, this kind of seems like the perfect storm of just all this shit falling into place. I got to see this movie. And, you know, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, I gotta.
I don't know what movie you guys are talking about and everything like that, but
you know, Moses, you gotta see this.
It's called this watch it
with Moses, the Johnsons.
Moses,
no, literally, I'm gonna tell it to you like this, Moses. I'm gonna tell you like this.
No, do not tell me if it's weird or creepy.
No. I'm gonna be 100. I'm gonna be dead. I'm honest with you. This movie it's well made, for short. Trying to do some great projects. This is very out there. It's kind of wild. It's like, yeah, that's what I say about it. Like, I watched it more so just out of curiosity. I would never watch it for like entertainment or just when you're like chilling out at the house. It's like, you know what? It's Saturday at 3 p.m. Like, let me just throw something on.
Oh hell no!
This is not one of those movies. One of those movies for you. I don't judge. A little bit weird to me. Maybe not weird. That's kind of wild. I can't imagine just sitting with the popcorn and with the sour gummy worm.
You shouldn't be eating in general during that movie. I don't care if you're drinking fucking Tylenol or drinking whatever, like NyQuil, whatever. Do not have any liquids or any food watching that. No, absolutely no.
No, it's funny. I've heard about this movie and everything like that. When somebody told me a little bit about it, a while back, I was like, no, sorry.
I'll put it to you like this. I'll put it
to you
like this.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No. You're gonna want to hear.
No. Thank you.
Trust me. Give me 5 seconds.
But I'm okay.
Give me 5 seconds.
I'm gonna cover my ears.
Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. Okay. No. Cover your ears. Doug and audience. This is for y'all. This is for y'all.
God.
It's a family movie, but it's not a family movie.
Oh hell no! My boys double toasted, Corey and Martin and them. They were saying they did it years ago, whatever, and then Corey was like, "Watch it with your dad."
Hell no!
And then because Martin, his co-host, was like, "No," he's like, huh, "Don't do that." And I laughed so hard. Moses, you know how you felt about Saltburn? Watching Saltburn, you didn't care about Saltburn. This is the same. You wouldn't know if you felt that different about Saltburn.
That's what I'm saying. Saltburn was like greatly shot and everything. It was like done amazing. Like But the whole thing, I was just like, dude, this is not for me. I knew it was not for
No,
me, you know.
this movie's not for you. This movie's
Yeah,
not
this is
for you.
definitely not for me. Maybe my brain, I don't know, just don't work like that, whatever. But I was just like, what is going on with this guy, you know? But
And God,
but
it's
I like, I like the filmmaker that made that movie Saltburn, because she did that movie. What was it?
Promising Young
Young
Woman.
Woman.
Yep, Promising
Young
Young
Woman,
Woman.
right?
Great
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Yep.
I seen that, and I thought that was a great film. Yeah.
So no, if you thought talking about Saltburn, I've as much as Nick is trying to praise this movie, maybe because his last name is Johnson as well, but it's not
It's
the
the only
movie.
time I've seen my name on a movie
No.
before, so I was like, hell yeah, I got to check it out, because I was like, yo,
Oh
I
no,
love our
what about
Hereditary Midsummer,
no,
and I got to check it out.
what about Johnson Family Vacation?
With Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Jason Momoa was in that movie.
I've seen the movie as a kid. I love that movie because his car was so cool. Little Bow Wow was in it, who I love from like Mike. The movie was my shit, man. I love that movie.
That was like, I gotta watch it again, because again, I only saw like the one time when I was like a little kid, like elementary school, and I remember like Steve Harvey was in it,
Yeah, he was.
and I think Beyonce is like her sister.
Oh
in it
yeah, Solange.
Was it Solange?
Maybe. I remember that was a blockbuster rental for me back in the day, and I love that movie. That was my movie.
It was Hollywood Video for me, because
Yeah,
we didn't have Blockbuster in Casa Grande.
That's right. Hollywood Video, man. That's also a throwback. But yeah, I do think I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next as a filmmaker. I like to see him do more modern day stuff. But again, that's just me. But
Yeah.
we'll see. All right, guys. With that said, again, check out NOSFERATU. He's doing very well at the box office. I think this is probably his best, release both for opening weekend and release so far. So good for Eggers, man. That's awesome. And again, good for everyone involved, from Chris Columbus, the producer, to the cast and crew. It was a very well made movie. If you're a horror fan, go ahead.
No, that's wild that Chris Columbus was the producer on it.
He's produced all movies. He's produced The Wish, Northman, Lighthouse, and I was like, Chris Columbus. I'm like, the guy who did Home Alone, the guy who did the first two Harry Potters, and
Yeah,
I love Chris Columbus. But I was like,
the Amazing Percy Jackson movies.
Percy Jackson, yep. Pixels, award-winning. I'm kidding. Not that award-winning Pixels. The movie's so bad. That movie's so bad. Oh boy. But with that said, yeah, check it out. If you're a horror fan, it's doing very well at the box office. Go see it in a ton of movies now. You can see right now in theaters for the new year. So go check it out. And with that said, my friends, again, as we mentioned earlier, it is our recap of 2024. And Moses, my friend, let's start with you, brother. We'll see. Top 10 of 2024. You can go in order or you can go out of order. The floor is yours.
All right. I'm excited for this, but it's gonna be out of order.
Totally
Everything.
fine.
I was scanning a little bit and everything like that to see all the films that I've seen, and I kind of had to like just jot down a little bit of the jot down my top 10 essentially. So, but I don't judge my top 10. I'm just kidding. No,
No promises.
I'm not. Hey, I know my top 10 is gonna be better than yours though, Nick. That's all I gotta say.
All right, we'll see. We'll see.
You know what I mean? I give my top 10s, not a D. I give it a, A. No, I'm kidding.
I respect it. Touche.
No. So I started off with Wild Robot.
Oh, nice.
With Lupita. I've seen that. Great film. Amazing film. 10 out of 10 for sure for me. Dune Part 2. Come on. It's like,
Hell yeah.
one of the best films I would say that came out this year for me. And then Alien Romulus.
Ooh,
Great
yeah.
movie. And it's like to the T. Amazing film. And Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's definitely up there, of course. And this little movie called Sing Sing. They came out this year. It's a awards contender film. And Bad Boys Ride or Die. Come on,
nice.
Solid. That's a solid one.
There is this movie that I had literally seen like 3 weeks ago or maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. But it's this really good movie. With the actor, Adrian Brody. It's called The Brutalist.
Oh yeah.
The movie is very long. It's
I've heard
very long.
4 hours, right?
Yeah, it's 4 hours that they had to like,
Intermission,
do a
right?
halftime show. No, I'm kidding.
Halftime happened. Rihanna came out.
Rihanna came out and everything. No, it was like, yeah, it was over 3 hours and everything. But I thought it was great, man. It's an indie movie that I felt it was very much a spectacle, essentially, for me. I was like, man, this is like really, really done so well. And that's kind of like myself as a filmmaker. I was like, man, this is kind of like a blueprint for the type of films that I kind of want to make.
Oh,
not exactly tough films I want to make, but the style that I want to make it as, But yeah, that was definitely up there for me. And Wicked for sure.
Yeah, heck
Great
yeah.
film. I saw that. In freaking 4DX and 3D.
Oh, that's sick.
Really?
That's sick.
That's dope.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm a member for Regal, so I saw it for like $10.
Represent Regal Limited, baby. Represent.
Yeah, Regal Limited. You know what I mean? You gotta be in there. We gotta be in there. And then this movie, The Fire Inside, that I've seen a couple days ago, I would say. And this is the last one, but it's not the least. But it was kind of like one of those films that's like not a lot of people are gonna like it, but you're like, wow, you don't expect to like it, but you go in and you're like, man, that wasn't bad. That was actually really, really good. It was this movie called Horizon with I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Moses, I love you so much, right? You're the only person I've met who's seen that movie in general and be in theaters.
Wait. What's Horizon? That's not the Kevin
Costner that had
I've seen it in theaters.
Moses, get the fuck out of here with that list, man.
No,
bro. Maybe I like it, maybe you won't. It's this little indie film called Horizon.
And he also saw.
I was gonna, what's funny? I was gonna add Gladdy in there and everything like that. Which I still do. If I did, it would have to replace Horizon. But I've seen Horizon, like I thought it was good.
Hey, look, no, I'm gonna tell you like this. I haven't seen Horizon, so I do not have an opinion of it. But I didn't grow up watching like Western films at all, anything like that. So I saw that, and I was. You ain't seen no Western. You didn't see Wild Wild West, at least.
I never grew up watching Wild.
Hold up. You don't like Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kevin Kline and
no, of course. No.
Kenneth
Wild Wild West. Oh
no, I know what movie you're talking about. I never saw that.
Are you kidding me, bro? Yo,
I heard people talk about how that's terrible.
It's awful.
They're wrong.
It's awful.
They're all wrong. It's a Western classic, bro. A Western.
Is that the movie he decided to do?
Fuck up.
Is that the movie he decided to do over The Matrix?
Yes.
Damn, yeah.
Yes.
That's another reason why it's memorable.
Because Barry
Sonnenfeld, you know what?
Yeah.
No. What's up, Doug?
No, because Barry Sonnenfeld did Men in Black. Was like, hey, we're Men in Black. Let's do this thing. Come on, man. We're top of the game right now. And he followed Men in Black with that shit. Ooh,
that's wild. Because Men in Black, genuinely, that's a dope movie. And because with he did Wild Wild West as opposed to The Matrix was because I think it was like he didn't understand the script or something like that, or it was just like a bit kind of like high concept.
And remember too is that he passed on Men in Black. He was like, as Independence Day, and then Spielberg called him and goes, my man, what's going on here? Like, why? He goes, am I doing this? And Spielberg was like, you're passing on my movie? He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. Like, I can't do it. And then he goes, come on. And Spielberg convinced him to do The Matrix. No, Men in Black. And then
Can you imagine The Matrix directed by Steven Spielberg with Will Smith starring in it?
That would be honestly prime, like before my kind of like Minority Report style like Matrix. Ooh, that would be kind of cool.
I was gonna say,
if they did
cool.
that, that would be good. Matrix. Damn, now I need to see that movie. Dang.
Can we do a top 15? Because I got like so many movies that I put in.
Hell no.
No,
I just want to put Horizon on it.
How about 5?
Never seen Horizon, bro. So what are you talking about?
No one has. No one has but you.
You guys haven't seen Horizon?
My man, I have asked people this. Have you seen Horizon? They go, what movie? I'm like, Horizon. They go, Horizon. Deepwater Horizon. I'm like,
Horizon.
No, Horizon.
Wireless? No, I'm kidding.
No.
He's like,
if you have 5, you want to say it. It could be your honorable mentions. Go ahead.
Okay. I just have 2 honorable mentions.
Go ahead.
You know, one, of course. I mean,
why did you say 5?
What?
You only got 2. Why'd you say 5, man?
Horizon, Wild
Man,
Wild West.
because you know I'm just I'm just I don't want to be greedy. You know what I mean? I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to.
Hey, no, you know what? I respect that. You don't want to be greedy. I like that.
I have a bunch of. I have a whole list of on my letterbox. I don't mention. So you read as much as you want, my man. Go ahead.
I got one singular honorable mention. That's it.
It's Horizon.
You think you're better than that. Yeah. But anyways, let me say my my 2 honorable mentions. I would say Gladiator.
Okay.
Is up there, and of course for me, I would say Transformers 1.
That was really good. That was really good. I missed that, unfortunately.
I saw that they had like made it, but I fell off after the 5th.
Yeah, y'all don't watch movies.
It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want. I'm busy now. Life is different, but I do the best that I can.
Oh boy.
I do the best that I can. I promise you that.
Well, I would also throw in Twisters up there, but you know.
Yeah, Twisters.
I'll give you Twisters.
Yeah.
They had my man Future Superman up in there. They had my man David Cornsweat up in there.
I mean, we won't talk about the trailer, but you know, yeah.
All right, so to recap, not in order, Moses has The Wild Robot, Dune 2, Alien Romulus, Deadpool Wolverine, Sing Sing, Bad Boys 4, The Brutalist, Wicked, The Fire Inside, and to make Kevin Costner very happy, Horizon Part 1. Will we leave it Part 2, Part 3, Part 4? Probably not. Guess what? We have Part 1, and Moses saw it.
I respect it, Moses. I like that list. I like.
And don't forget to say my honorable mentions. Nah, I'm kidding. No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Gladiator and what else?
Oh, Transformers 1.
It was Gladiator.
Gladiator, Twisters, and Transformers 1.
Okay.
Transformers 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Sure.
All right, Nick, my friend, my screening partner, you're up.
I got you. Now listen. Don't judge me for this list. Also, there was some where I was like, this one was a little bit different than movies typically go see, so I got to give this one a little bit of. I'm not justifying. I'm just letting y'all know.
All right, question for you. In order or not in order?
In order, not in order.
Not in order? Okay, not in order. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so my list, Gladiator 2. You know, because I saw the first one like the day before I saw the second one, and I love the first one. I do feel like the second one had a little bit of an edge on it because, you know, it had Denzel as part of the cast, and I was really fascinated by his character, and just it was like a bigger scope, and you know, Paul Mescal did a great job and fantastic cast. Next one up is The Substance. Yeah. This movie I went into completely blind.
Oh yeah, we did.
It made the experience better because like this movie, crazy movie, but also it's a crazy movie for the fact that I have no context. The only thing I saw about this movie was it was like the poster going into the theater. So I loved it. And this is crazy. This is one of those movies that gloves off. It just fucking goes there. And it doesn't hold back. It just goes full fucking force the whole movie. Fantastic movie. I love it. Obviously Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. Comic book fan, you know, and it's just this is the best Deadpool movie in my opinion. It's a great, you know, MCU movie, and I saw it in LA with my fiance, so that was just a really special for me. Then I got an IMAX here with my fiance again, and then I saw it with my mom. After that, so I saw it like 3 times because there was for those of you who haven't seen it, there's a specific cameo in there, and I was like, yo, mom, it was like one of those things like I can't just tell you about the cameo, you have to see the movie. So I didn't even specifically about the cameo. I was just like, mom, listen, we got to see this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why after we see the movie. And luckily she liked it too. Next one up after that is Dune 2.
Yeah.
I love the Dune movies, man. I listen to a podcast at where it breaks like the mythology of Dune, so it's got me really excited for the third one. And like I've heard about what happens in like in the books like after Dune Messiah, which is what the third one is going to be based off of. And like I keep talking about it, I'm like, man, wait till you see Dune Messiah, because like especially everything after that, it gets insane. But also just overall, Denis Villeneuve does his thing. Fantastic cast: Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård. What's his name? Austin Butler. Like this,
The Worm.
The Worm, bro. Yeah. Oh my god. But no, like this movie, it was great. It was great. It was dope, and I really liked when speaking in the Fremen thing with Paul, where he's like, I'm pointing the way. That's my shit right there, man. I was saying that for a whole.
Great. Yo,
that was my
favorite scene.
There was at one point where he was like speaking the Fremen language. I had like some of that memorized. Kayla was getting heated at me because every time I did something else, listen, Al Gaib.
No, dude,
bro.
When what's his name? Javier Bardem is like, take my life, in his own way.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm bolting away. I was like, dang.
He's like, take my life, Muad'Dib. I was like, oh my gosh. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie, man. Because also it was kind of like, I don't want to like specifically get into it just in case there's someone who hasn't seen it yet, but like for Paul, the character of Paul, that scene, like there was just such a heavy shift, and it was like I was like, oh shit, I was like, there's no going back from this. Like this is where everything pops off, because bro, like the shit that happened, the shit that Paul basically causes in the sequels, it is insane. So but yeah, Dune 2. Fucking loved it. Really excited for Dune Part 3. Next up, Speak No Evil. James McAvoy, nice. Mackenzie Davis, Scoot McNairy. This is it Scoot or Scott?
No. I say Scoot. Scoot. I was like saying it. Scoot.
Scoot McNairy. But no, like this movie was dope too. Just like married couple with the kid. They're on vacation. They meet other couple who it's like fun, but they kind of just become a little bit more unhinged. An American remake of a I think of the same name, but it was just a fight overall, man. And like for me personally, stand out in this movie, like he just the shit that he was doing with his character, it's see like so many like it's just that I feel like you can like from him, like that one. He took out Scoot McNairy, and like they were just like yelling out into like the fields. Like you could, I guess what you could look at it like they're just like like getting all that shit off, so like whatever the fuck. But like I noticed like Scoot McNairy, like when he yells, it's kind of like he's yelling as hard as he can, but he's kind of like a little like weaselly. He was kind of like a weak character, not like written poorly, but he was written kind of a weak man. So like his like the body language, like he's kind of like shriveled up like that, yelling, and like he's like at one point like fell down. But like when James McAvoy was yelling, he was like like that, like it was it was interesting to see the distinctions between those two characters through like it was verbal because they were yelling, but they weren't really talking. Like it was just like it was just a bunch of different layers in the film, and it was a lot of stuff that you could kind of you would have to like make your own interpretations of it. So like it was ambiguous, and it was I just like that, and I liked how they told the story overall. Next up we got Long Legs. Again, I saw like a trailer for this. I sent it over to Doug.
Yep. And
I only watched the trailer like the one time, like months later. Doug was like, "Yo, bro, let's go see Long Legs." And that movie, I liked it a lot. Nick Cage in it, like fucking killed it. It was a neon movie. It made me want to watch more neon movies, because just like it was dark and it was heavy. Blair Underwood was in it. There was like some stuff where I think it left a bit to be desired, because it wasn't. And it's weird because I like ambiguity in film, but it was like some stuff where I was, I don't know what to think about that. But then like when I went in and I had like I like researched, like there was this someone was doing an analysis on Nicolas Cage specifically. He went through like his whole like up until his part in the movie, and it added more context, so it kind of made me like appreciate the movie even more, even though I already liked it. But yeah, great movie. Dark horror. It's like Seven meets Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
No, yeah, Seven meets Silence of the Lambs. Like, and with some other like possibly supernatural ambiguity to it. Next up, Saturday night.
Yeah.
90 minutes before the first episode of SNL. So and this movie, like I said in the review, like it's chaotic, but it's like an oddly hopeful, not oddly hopeful, but it is like a hopeful movie because it's kind of like when you watch the movie, the actor that was playing Lorne Michaels, you're thinking like there's no way this should work, but not only obviously in real life, like it works and it proves to be like a very successful show, but it's like, yo, like if this all was going on, like how did y'all make the show and how did it last for so long? And so yeah, great film. The Fall Guy.
Yeah.
You feel me? That was a really fun movie, and I love the practical stunts, and I love that it was kind of like a love letter in certain ways to stunt professionals, and and it was like really it's weird because it was a really funny movie, but each time I saw like the theater just happened to be like a little bit empty. I don't know if it was like the day that I saw it, or like the time of day, but it was really funny, but it kind of felt weird because it's like it's not that no one's laughing, it's just that there's only like maybe 10 of us in this theater. You feel me? But yeah.
Killed me. That killed me, man. That flopped. Oh.
Because it would be like I'm like
dude, I was the only one laughing.
Because it's like, but it's funny. It's just like damn, I was in the fucking theater, and also great Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Winston Duke. Well, I do want to see him in more movies. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
That's right.
Yeah, we gotta see more Winston Duke in more movies. Like, bro.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I'm like, come on, man. Anyways, go ahead.
No, yeah, but My Old Ass with Audrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Is it? I apologize. Is it Audrey or I think I just flubbed that up?
I think it's Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
Okay. I did a premiere for that. What?
Oh no, wait, really?
No. Yeah.
What did you? Because that movie stopped. I'm not gonna lie. Because it takes the whole like if you could meet your younger self and tell them a message, like what would you say? It takes that to a whole new level, and it's a really heartwarming movie. It pulled out the fucking heartstrings, man. And I'm not used to that.
No, it was
I'm not used to being vulnerable like that.
I haven't seen the movie.
Okay. No, it's good though. It's good. I definitely would recommend it.
My favorite thing is that after the movie ended, we tell Lee, our publicist, like how we thought about the movie, and Nick was like, "Man, it made me cry," and Lee was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
No, because I was getting a little misty. I ain't gonna lie. The shit was hitting a little bit because I'm like, dang. Because again, it's like, I'm blessed enough to say I've lived a great life. I have few, if any, regrets, but still, like, dang, if I could like meet myself from when I was in like high school or even like younger, I was, I can't help but think like I would probably drop pearls of wisdom, if you call it wisdom. So my that movie, I really loved it, and then of course Monkey Man.
Yeah, like, Monkey Man.
You feel me? This movie, bro. You feel? Did you see? Did you like Monkey Man, Moses?
No, I liked it, but I was like, I should have put it on my list.
Yeah. See, Yeah.
That's the only movie. That's the only movie that I'm like, oh, I should put it on my list. But yeah, it was great, man. It was great, bro. Like
that movie,
man, it was amazing. I
need Monkey Man Part 2. Jordan Peele and Dev Patel, if you listen to this, I need a trilogy. Give me Part 2 and Part 3.
They didn't make enough money.
I know, man. Again, that and Fall Guy flopping back to back killed me, and Abigail too. Oh my God, those movies killed me. That great movies this year flopped. But go ahead, Nick.
No, but love that movie. Honorable mention. The only one I have on this list is Blink Twice. This was a tough one because I do really like this movie. Zoe Kravitz, directorial debut. She killed it. Fantastic cast, and it was like it's one of those movies. Like it's a fun watch. Keeps you guessing, and it, I feel like it had a pretty satisfying ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's just kind of like you're going through the movie like, yo, what is going on? And great. I feel like a broken record. I say this a lot, but like it was like a great cast, and it was just like a fun ride. The twists and turns are fun, and it was fun trying to figure out like what exactly is going on because you're on that journey with the character. But yeah, that's my top 10. 2020.
Right. Recap again, not in order. Nick said Gladiator 2, The Substance, Deadpool & Wolverine, Dune 2, Speak No Evil, Long Legs, Saturday Nights, The Fall Guy, My Old Ass, and Monkey Man. Look at you guys with some amazing lists.
That's what we do here.
I have you guys.
We do one genre of your life.
I have you guys.
Now that was cool. You know, like you didn't have like the Brutalist. You know, you didn't have like
here's
like
why.
Yeah, but you didn't have Gladiator Part 2, Moses.
To be
so
fair,
don't even come at me with that nonsense.
To be fair, Moses, we didn't get the movie Night Bitch. We didn't get Kind of Kindness in Phoenix. Brutalist doesn't come here till another 2 weeks.
Moses.
Wow.
That's why I didn't have it on my list.
You get everything before us, man.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have it on. Because we hadn't seen it yet. That's what the actual reason was.
I had to wait a month to Nora because it didn't come to Phoenix. It played in one theater in Scottsdale. I was like, I didn't have time. I was working. I was doing stuff. I didn't have time. So I had to wait a month for Nora. And I had to wait 2 weeks for Brutalist. I was like, come on, man. Like, come on, studios. Like, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I want to see your. I'll pay for your movies. Like,
I'm trying to help you out.
I'll give you that. I'll give you guys that. I'm sorry.
Nah, man. Could be all cool with you, Mr. Hollywood, Mr. Regal 40X.
Hey, yo.
What's up?
You have a great list, bro. That was
Thank
a
you,
great
man.
list.
So do you. I appreciate that. I feel like we all have great lists.
All right.
It's just mine is a little bit more great than yours because it actually has
you hear that,
on
Moses?
it.
You hear that, Moses?
Man, that's crazy, bro. Bro, that's crazy. Hey, where was Horizon at? Where was Horizon?
Good question. Hey, it's not on his horizon to watch Horizon. Sorry, Kevin Costner.
Hey, but Kevin Costner, I loved you in Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, Popcat.
Great. It was great. It was great in that movie.
All
Still
right.
my favorite DC film.
Yeah, it's up there. It's
Hell
up
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's my favorite DC film. Because it's a Snyder trilogy and then Black is like right underneath it.
Yeah. No, it's it's up there for me. Yeah. But anyways, Doug, it's your turn. It's your list, you know.
I got to hear that.
All right.
You know?
Well, I've been saying on a lot of reactions and a lot of movies this year. I think this is a great year. It was a great year for movie making and filmmaking and cinema. I think the box office was up a bit this year, which is really good. I think this year has been amazing for just original filmmaking too and indie filmmaking too. I saw so many great indie and original films this year where I was like, wow, this is so cool seeing these movies on the big screen in the theater, from like Substance to Nora, stuff like that. Neon, A24, even studios had original movies this year too, like Bike Riders too. Like I love seeing all these movies. Like, and even though a lot of them flopped, unfortunately, but still these studios and companies took a chance on lower budget indie original filmmaking movies this year. I'm like, wow, we didn't see that last year or the year before. So I think 2024 was just an amazing year for filmmaking in general. So with that said, I'm going to do my honorable mentions really quick first because I have a lot of them. Real quick, I have Monkey Man, Lisa Frankenstein, The League of Atomic Warfare, very underrated movie, Guy Ritchie. That was a good one. Arthur the King, Roadhouse, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Furiosa, the Twisters, of course, the Bike Riders, My Old Ass, Argyle that me and Nick loved, everyone else hated, Bad Boys Ride or Die, the 430 movie, Snack Shack, Love Lies Bleeding, Alien Romulus, and it was so hard. Dude. Last week I was like, I can't put these movies in my top 10, and I was like freaking out. I was like, it was tough. It was a great year for movies. I was like, shit. I mean, first world problems, but I was like, this is gonna be a hard year to list movies. So, Alien Romulus, We Live in Time, Ends with Us, Blink Twice. Late Night with the Devil was my top 10 until about a week ago, and I took it out unfortunately. As the Challengers as well. The Order, Wolves, Carry On, and Nosferatu. It was a good year for film. It was hard. I'm telling you, man, last week I was sweating because I was like, shit. I mean, I love Challengers. I love this. I love Blink Twice.
Challengers almost made it on the list, bro. I like that's my favorite Zendaya performance, man. Because it was just I was like, yo, this is insane. And also, not to correct, it was the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah,
you're right.
I forgot. I should have put that up there.
The League,
because I almost put that. That was good.
It was good.
I think because Henry was in it.
Yes.
It's the whole Justice League. I think it's a little bit of that. Yeah.
What's crazy that most of those movies, majority of them, kind of just came and went, unfortunately. And Ministry just left. Like, it was in the theaters for a week. It was at the press screening, and it was like gone. It was just gone the week later. I was like, what happened? Like, what happened? And it's a shame. It's tough. And Bike Riders, we loved, just gone in a week. It was like, oh, it killed me, man.
That was a good one. That was
good. All right, so my top.
That movie too. Dang.
Yeah.
So many movies, man. So many movies.
See, because you too busy watching movies like Horizon and skipping out on all the good ones.
What are you talking about, bro?
Bro, you put Horizon over Gladiator.
Did you watch the Brutalist?
Fighters?
Did you watch the Brutalist?
Man, whatever. I don't have
Gladiator
Part 2 on my list.
And also, A24.
All I hear is excuses.
Hey, it's not excuses. It's the facts. It's the facts of the matter.
And to be fair, we're not even on A24's press list yet. We're trying to. They don't like us. We're trying.
They don't like us yet. A24, we're on our way. We're on our way.
All right. Yes. So for me, in order, I'm gonna do 10, The Substance. Me and Nick said I've never seen a room full of critics. It was press and critics only. And we walked in like, okay, I've never seen a room full of media, critics only, hollering and squealing and like, oh my God, like freaking out. I've never, and even Nick and I were like, this is crazy. Like, a room full of grown ass, again, professional critics were freaking out with this movie. And I was like, this is crazy, trippy good. Go ahead, Nick.
No, I have a very strong stomach. I've seen a lot of movies in my life from a young age growing up. This movie, and I mean this as like, this is praise for the movie. I almost fucking vomited in the theater, bro. There was a part in there where I was like, but it's like it's so. I think that was like the reaction that the filmmakers were trying to get, because it was just like, it's a little bit of see, I don't even want to say, because like audience, if you have not seen The Substance yet, watch The Substance. That movie is my shit. It was like towards the end where I was just like that, bro. It was insane. I love this movie, man.
We heard. I'm telling you, Moses, we heard that critics and actual, reviewers, bloggers, anything, just like have like a visceral reaction to this movie. And I was sitting there with Nick, and I'm like, I've never seen this before. A room full of critics and reviewers and like movie critics were like so squeamish, and I was like, what are we watching? But it was so good because of that reason. And it's very, very Stanley Kubrick-esque too, like very Stanley Kubrick-esque.
Yeah.
It's trippy. It's a little long, 2.5 hours, but you know what? I mean, I'm not a body horror person whatsoever, but seeing this movie almost 5 months ago now, and I haven't. It's been in my head ever since then. I'm like, oh, that scene happened. But Margot Qualley's phenomenal. Oh, and the one scene especially is that shrimp scene, Nick. That fucking shrimp. That shrimp scene, bro. That was another reason why I almost fucking vomited. Because I was like, bro. Me and Nick were like, oh. We felt so ill watching that. We were like, I don't feel so good right now. I'm like, oh, it was so gross.
It's this like Fish Islands camera shot, where everything around it is kind of like curved, and the dude, like, his mouth is like, I'm not gonna do it, but imagine if like my mouth is all up in this like camera, in this lens right here, but fish eye covered butter and grease and like shrimp shells, and talking about some just like sucking them out the shells and stuff like that. Like, he's not even chewing it, just takes out the shell and swallows. It was insane.
This is it.
Ugh.
That's it.
That's a fresh suit though, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I need that.
It's in your face, Moses. You say, the sound is like,
it sounds like it's in your face, literally and like figuratively too. Because even like the message was just very I don't want to say like, but it was very
a cautionary tale of.
It's a cautionary tale, yeah. And again, like to your point, it's in your face. It doesn't hold back at all. Nope. It's just like it's like beating you in the head with it, but in like a really, really good way. Not in a way where it's like it's forced and it's contrived and it's like, okay, I get it, but it's just like it's just bold with everything that it does.
It's so bold, and I honestly. You're not a fan of horror, but as a just filmmaking aspect, Moses, I kind of want to see what your thoughts about it, because it's filmed just very, very well, like very Stanley Kubrick, even like Steven Soderbergh at times too, like very like the way it's shot and everything. But I felt sick after watching it, and we watched Speak No Evil and that movie back to back in the same 2 days. And we were like, oh my god, we need a break after this. Like, we need a break from movie that we were like, oh my lord.
I'm a book. I gotta you out for a little bit.
No. I'm definitely gonna see it. I know it's gonna
It's
be
tough.
out on I don't know if it's out on Mubi. I don't know if you guys know the streaming service movie and everything.
They also did it
But
for
I
the
No,
think
because
theatrical
it's
as
no,
well.
because
longer.
it was a movie. If
Movie,
I
yeah,
remember
movie. So
correctly.
Universal,
Yeah.
Universal had it. They dropped it last minute. So movie took it over. Universal didn't believe in the movie. Apparently, no, they were like, this movie's kind of too weird for us, so they dropped it. And then movie took it over. And good for them. They have a huge hit on their head, and it did very
Yeah.
well. So good for them. But it's trippy. It's a trippy movie. All right, so again, great movie, but it's gross. Number 9 for me is a Nora. I call it Nora. It's Pretty Women meets Uncut Gems, and it's a trippy. It's very trippy. It's also but it's really funny too. Sean Baker, who did Red Rocket, Florida Project, Tangerine. I'm not again. Like I said about earlier, his movies are kind of very bloated at times. Like they kind of overstay their welcome, and sometimes you're like, hey, what's good on with it? But Nora, when I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, saw it at 10 p.m. It's 2.5 hours. The girls behind me were hollering and being very loud, and I did fall asleep in the middle at one point. I was like, okay, I'm awake. So I saw it again. Was awake this time, and it was me and this old dude in the row next to me, kind of looking at me. I'm like, my man, watch the movie, watch the movie, because it is very graphic in terms of like the sex and like the sex scenes and the love making scenes for sure. But Mikey Madison is remarkable in this. I think she probably will get the Oscar, if not runner up with the Oscar. She's really good in this, but it's really funny too. Like I was laughing my loud. I was like, wow, this is actually really fucking funny. The actor who plays Igor is hilarious. He steals the movie for me. It's very sweet. It's a what if like your not fairy tale, what if like the fairy tale you had about this like marrying this rich guy or rich person like comes to an end because it was just like you married the wrong person, or like the higher ups. Basically, she marries this like she's a sex worker in New York, marries this rich Russian kid who's a prick. And then the parents are like, "Oh hell no, an American sex worker, hell no." They fly from Russia to like get it annulled, and it's chaos. But it's very Uncut Gems like. But it's funny, and it's very fast moving, and it's a very like, oh shit, kind of like fantasy like gone wrong basically. So definitely worth the watch. It's really super funny. I was really surprised with it. I think Sean Baker probably will win the best screenplay of the year. I think for that movie, best original screenplay that is. Number 8, I have Strange Darling. This movie is fucking awesome. This movie to me, if you go on blind all these movies, if you ask me, Strange Darling is very early Tarantino-esque. And what that means with that is like, it kind of had like almost like the El Royale meets like Pulp Fiction kind of vibe. And I was like, oh, I'm for this. And hearing about it before, someone on TikTok was like, going blind, it's very like Pulp Fiction with this movie. And I was like, okay, for sure. And I walked in, I was like, all right. If you want to hear my full story about the movie, listen to my review about it. These two grown-ass men in front of me had a fucking farting contest during the movie. Like, I'm not kidding, bro. Like, at the Regal, all I hear was like farting the entire time. I'm like, you two are grown-ass men. And they had their fucking like phones like to the full flash too. Like, oh, this is my fantasy this year for football. And I was like, shh. And they were like, turn around. So my review of that is on the channel. Listen to that, but my full story. And they had every 20 minutes, all I heard was, and
Really?
Mm.
the fake, it's a fake, it's a pleather, seats, whatever. So you hear.
So it didn't soak in. It just kind of like
Yes, and I'm sitting right behind them, and it's going right to me. So I'm like, I was like, and come on, you're grown ass men. But anyway, I digress. This movie, while watching it, I'm like, it's one of these movies. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. And something happens. I was like, oh shit! You think you know this movie? You don't. You really don't. And it took me by a storm where I was like, how do they pull this off? And the actor, what's his name? He was the weirdo pervert and Ted. Giovanni Ribisi. He produced it, and his debut as a cinematographer, and he shoots this movie on film beautifully. And this movie's
What is this movie? Sorry, what's
Strange Darling.
Strange?
You too would love this movie. It is unreal. And
what was the director?
J.T. Molnar, I believe his name is.
Okay.
And it's Kyle Gallner, who was in American Sniper, Jennifer's Body. He was in the Smile movies. And it's Willa Fitzgerald, who was in the show Reacher, the first season of Reacher, who I thought she's remarkable in this. And this movie is getting snubbed for everything. This movie is awesome. It's original, and it's so gripping. It's so intense. see this movie. This movie is, to me, I was like, wow, one of the best screenplays in a long time too. Because again, you watch the movie, you're like, oh, it's one of these movies. It's not. You're just like, oh gosh, I go in blind. To anyone watching this review, this episode, just go in blind. It just blew me away.
I'll definitely.
So good. All right, so number 7 I have is Abigail. I'm a new horror fan thanks to like college, whatever. And this movie to me is so much fun. Radio Silence, who did the last 2 Scream movies, are just great filmmakers. They also did Ready or Not, which I love. Abigail to me, it's like, what do you have? The Hateful Eight by Tarantino meets like Fright Night. And it's a great kind of like heist horror comedy. And I love a good horror comedy. I love like Shaun of the Dead and Zombieland and stuff like that. Or even kind of like Get Out to a degree. Get Out more thriller, but had some comedy to it. But if you can blend comedy and horror very well together, to me, you chef's kiss. And Abigail to me is so funny because it was very Tarantino. It was very kind of like Scorsese at times. But the cast is from Catherine Noon to what was that movie? Melissa, what's her name? She was in the Scream movies too. Her name is.
You're talking about I know you're talking about.
Melissa Barrera. Melissa Barrera. Who was great in this. From the little actors playing Abigail to Kevin Durant. Dan Stevens to me steals the show. It's also Angus Cloud's last movie, who was in Euphoria, who passed away.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's. I love this movie so much. I just really love like horror comedies, and watching it, I'm like, hey, it's an original horror movie from a huge studio with Universal for the big screen. And I was like, I had the time of my life. This movie was so much fun. It was gory. It was bloody. It was really twists and turns. I was like, this movie's great. Juan Carlos Esposito's in it as well. It's just an awesome movie. And I walked out like, this movie is great. And the critics that I was sitting next to, they were like, this movie was. I'm like, oh, come on, have fun. This movie is so much fun. There's one guy I know at the screens that me and Nick go to. I won't say who it is. He walks out and he was like, this. And I laughed. I was like, man, you're a hater. This movie is good, but I loved it. It was so much fun.
This is not my cup of tea.
Bro, he walked out like, and I was like, oh man, I loved it. It's so much fun. If you, I think it's on Prime now. It flopped at the box office too. It did not do well at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I was
tanked.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It tanked, and I was like, no. I was like, please. And so that kind of hurt me, but like, I think it's such a fun movie. So 7 for me, 7 Abigail. Number 6 is Wicked. Hearing my review, hearing my reaction. Wicked's my all-time favorite musical. As a kid, I saw it when I was brought in Chicago as a kid. I was mesmerized by the music, the sound, the scope of it all. And I thought what John M. Chu did with this movie as a director, as a filmmaker, adapting it was just remarkable. And I had goosebumps. I felt transported. The spectacle of it all was amazing. Ariana and Cynthia were just chef's kiss, perfect casted. I mean, they both have amazing voices. I mean, I told this Nick last week too. I remember seeing El Royale with you boys in college, and we were like, who's this Cynthia girl? Like, who is this? And we were like, wow. And her singing in that movie, her acting, we're like, who is this actress? And she just blew up after that, and rightfully so, because she's just remarkable. She's a great actress, and she was just
goosebumps, man. Whenever she sings,
goosebumps, dude. And she sings live. All her movies that she sings live, which is insane. Wow. Which is insane. So I think she's gonna win supporting actress this year. I believe so. No, sorry. She's leading.
Supporting actress. No, I was about to say
she's leading. Ariana's supporting. And
I was about to say who is she supporting?
No, sorry. It's her. I got confused. Ariana is supporting. She's lead, and I think right now, if I had to choose between her and Mikey Madison for the Oscar, I'm giving it to Cynthia. I really am, because she just was just transcending, and she was remarkable. And as someone who loves the musical so much, I saw it twice. I saw it at the screening. Saw it with my mom again at early screening as well. I love it so much.
Yeah, no, I hope she gets. I hope she gets a nomination, but it would be great if she also wins it too as well. But it's a tough nomination. Not gonna lie.
It's tough this year.
I mean, we don't know nominations yet and everything like that for best actor.
And John M. Chu deserves it. John M. Chu, the director, he went from doing Step Up 2 and 3 to Bieber documentaries to Wicked. Like that's about to come up, man. Who's working his ass off? Who worked his ass off?
Hey man, Step Up 2 was lit.
Yeah, dude,
Was it? I've only seen the first one. I've only seen the first one.
2 and 3 are awesome.
Bro, really?
Great.
They're definitely a product of their time, of terms of
the
style,
I can
and
tell
the lingo, and man, you want MySpace? It's like now you're like who? So to me, it's very not dated in the wrong way of kind of offensive stuff, but in terms of kind of just it's like the
it's
kind of
of the time.
Of the time,
it's for their time, and you're like, wait,
watch it. You can tell. Oh, it came out this year. Yeah, just kind of based on everything. No, I got you. I'm with that.
Check out my iPod Classic. You're like, wow, iPod. We're like, interesting. Or check out this thing. It's like, no one's saying that no more. So it's definitely. But again, I give props that he got his big first kind of hit with Crazy Rich Asians, and then he did In the Heights, which I love. I love In the Heights. And then he did this, so I'm like, hey, this man is definitely. Also, he's a good dude. I see all his interviews and podcasts with him. Just a likable dude and very humble. Spielberg discovered him when he was at USC and at USC Film School. So, very very humble dude. I love seeing filmmakers who I admire just be very down to earth and just love what they do. So I love him as a filmmaker. So we'll get it.
Even though I got declined at USC, but it's okay.
Hey man, they're lost. They're lost.
No, let's get it. No. I'm applying again. But no, man. No, I seen an interview with him and
Sean Levy.
I seen an interview with him, and it was really good. They're both very just humble people, and they're very you can tell that they're just happy to just be there. Dudes. You know what I mean? They're just I'm just happy to be here and just keep making movies and everything like that. That's which is great. Me as a filmmaker and everything like that. Hearing those people just talk about how they just are very still passionate and still humble in their own ways. That was great.
It's a filmmaker on filmmaker. Definitely watch that. It's great interview, an hour or two. It's the end, and then they were just kind of geeking out with each other, which is really cool. So check out Wiki. I can't wait for part 2 next year. And that was number 6 on my list. 5, Dune Part 2. My boy Denis never misses.
Hell yeah.
I've been praising this man since Prisoners.
And your boy Timothée Chalamet. Oh, I know that's your dude. For those of you who don't know, Timothée Chalamet is Douglas Jones's favorite actor. Is his favorite person in Hollywood ever.
He fucking wishes. Y'all heard me about a year ago about him a year ago. But that was I think it was a year ago. I think it was February. No, it was January last year episode. I forget what it was. I think it was
I was still living in. You were still in my other house at that point.
Yeah, I think Joel was on the show too. I think Joel was on the show too. So it was that long ago.
It was a minute.
I won't say what was reported. All I'll say it was never mind. I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna say it again.
Just for the record, Timothée Chalamet, I fuck with you. I love all the movies that I've seen you in personally.
He's not.
I can only speak for myself. Speak for myself.
For the record, I don't know what they're talking about. So
he's a bystander.
So I respect every filmmaker, every actor out there in the world.
I'm not a fan of him. I think he overacts. I think he's very very moody. His only thing he was good in was Interstellar. He's in it for 10 minutes, and that's why.
Bro.
You're talking to more deep.
You're
talking to Lisa man.
He ain't gonna do shit. Ride his little worm and get out of my face. Ta-ta. No, keep on moving. Man. Get stepping. It's funny when we saw the Interstellar re-release a few weeks ago on IMAX. We saw it and Nick was like, "It's your boy," and I'm like, "Ugh." And I was like, "Ugh." So I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's an overrated actor. I don't think he's all that. But hey, different episode, different time. But Dune 2 I thought it was better than part 1. Seeing it in 143 IMAX just blew my mind. I was like, if you see me in IMAX, guys see it in 70mm 143. Denis shoots that way. Coogler does now. Peele does. Nolan made it huge. It just blew my mind. All the scenes he did with the practical stuff, with the CGI was amazing. Greg Fraser's cinematography is amazing. It's an amazing film. It's again, Denis did not miss. I can't wait for part 3 for Messiah. It improved on what I had issues with the first one. And I love the first one too. It was my top 10 of 2021. But this one, kind of just took it to a whole new level. Loved it. It's so immersive, and the scale and scope is just unreal. Denis, I think I love Nolan, but right now, top 3 working filmmakers right now. Well, not never mind. But I think Denis up there with kind of like with like level of just like is a master of his filmmaker. So
Filmmaking, man, it's crazy, bro. And you know, and I'm just excited to see what he, for Doom Messiah and everything like that. But that guy, he's literally like my top right now. He's definitely up there as like my top like filmmaker right now.
He's my top 5 of all time. He's just like remarkable. I mean, from Prisoners to Sicario to Arrival to Blade Runner to Dune to even Enemy. It's like this dude does not miss. And I feel like
I would suggest I would suggest you watch his earlier film,
Incendies.
Yeah, Incendies. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
It's on my list.
That's
on my list.
That's one of the few.
We gotta watch it. We gotta watch it for the pod.
It's definitely crazy. It's more on like the
Enemy,
like the very
like kind of like Enemy. His film Enemy in a way.
Yeah, not like Enemy, but it's more like it's kind of like I don't know if it's called like the terminology for it, but it's more of like a like humanistic horror.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I got you. Like,
I
very
think
real. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
So yeah. But
Okay.
it's good movie though. Very great movie.
On my list, I'm gonna watch that. I also haven't seen Chris Nolan's first movie. Was it Following? It's called something like that.
I think it was the
Following. So it's on my list as well.
Yeah, it's very very first feature. He made it for like $5,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be like that guy. I'm trying to make.
Hey man,
that's impossible to do nowadays.
All right.
That's impossible.
I'll do it for 2. But yeah, Dune 2, loved it. Can't wait for part 3. Can't wait to see what Denis does next. Number 4, like Nick said, Saturday Night, man. I love this movie. I remember seeing this with you. We had a great time watching this. We had a drive to go see this movie because we were only playing in like 5 theaters near us or in general. Yeah. So it was hard to find because I don't know why Sony did this release movie because it was like this is gonna be like an Oscar darling, like the writing, the directing, the everything. And then Sony was like, we're gonna do this thing of like a few theaters first and then go from there. And it didn't do well, unfortunately. They're like, so it got snubbed. It's like wide release. Don't know why. You have a great filmmaker behind Jason Reitman, an amazing ensemble cast who just everyone's casted so well. And it's a love letter to just SNL, to comedians, to comedy, to believing in yourself, the underdogs. And it's so funny. It's so charming. It's very witty. Again, Nick said it's chaotic. It's witty. It's charming. It's funny. The score is remarkable. Sound design all that is crazy. Cinematography in that is really, really outstanding. Everyone from Lamorne to Dylan to Ella to Rachel, like Gabriel, like everyone the movie had a moment to shine. I think Corey Michael Smith is his name, who plays Chevy Chase. Everyone is casted so well, and they embody everyone. And I'm not like, oh look, I'm doing an impression of this person. No, they're embodying these characters. And I thought Lamorne and Dylan O'Brien did a great job doing both Garrett Morris and Dan Aykroyd. Just remarkable performances. Love that movie. I think it's on Netflix next week, but it did not do well, unfortunately, and got snubbed of all Oscar.
What movie is it again? Sorry.
Saturday Night.
That's a solid one.
It's so good. It's I was in my head when we saw it. I was so hyped for that movie when it came out, and even though we had to drive to go see it, it was definitely worth seeing it. And it was just a fun movie. It's super funny too. And also, I'm a big Jason Reitman fan as a filmmaker, so I think it's up there with my tie with him between that and Up in the Air. Because I love Up in the Air. It's a flawless movie if you ask me. But I would put that up there with like Saturday Night, Up in the Air, and probably Juno. But yeah, great movie. It didn't do well, and that kills me. But great movie, great writing. It was very Aaron Sorkin-esque, very Aaron Sorkin kind of like the writing, the quips, the wittiness of it all, the humor. So yeah, I think it's one of his best movies, and it's just great film. So that's Saturday Night. Number 3 is my beloved Fall Guy. I love this movie so much. I'm a big David Leitch fan. Big Ryan Gosling probably is my favorite actor, right behind Bradley Cooper. I think Ryan Gosling has a good agent because I've never seen Ryan Gosling in a bad movie. I've seen bad movies. I've seen bad movies that he's in, but like he's not bad in those movies. And I do think like he knows comedy so well, obviously with Crazy Stupid Love and Barbie, whatever. But like, let this man cook because he's so funny. He's so funny. He's so charming. Like Nick said too, it's a love letter to movie making, to filmmaking. You know what? This would be a good triple feature. It would go Galaxy Quest, Tropic Thunder, and Fall Guy. because about movies about an actor trying to like save the day who was not really like a hero. They're a TV star. They're a movie. They're like a movie star or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so funny. Him and Weston Duke had like phenomenal chemistry. Him and Emily Blunt had awesome chemistry too. It's why we go to the movies. The movie is why we go to the movies. It was a perfect film to start the summer of blockbusters, but when that box office came out, just shattered my heart. I told Nick, I was like, dude, what the fuck? And Nick was like, are we seeing different movies now? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here? And that movie was so much fun because we saw it at a packed critic screening, audience, general admission critics too. Everyone was clapping and cheering. I'm like, this is gonna be a hit. And then it just tanked. It was like maybe $45-50 million opening weekend estimate. I think like 25 it opened to, and it just went away. And then Universal put it on like Peacock like 2 weeks later.
Peacock, yeah, dude. I mean, it did great on Peacock though. It did great. It did great. Yeah, it's doing great on Peacock and everything like that. But it just, I don't know.
Killed me.
I don't know.
It killed me.
It's weird, man. It's like it happened with that one movie Furiosa, right? Because those two were
just ate.
both
ate it,
dude. Both of them are great movies, right? But then they just kind of like went away. Imagine, it's funny. Imagine if they came out like around like freaking November or like or October. I feel like they would have done really, really well. So
I think so too. I think so too. And remember, Fall Guy got pushed back a lot because the strike, and also because of Dune 2 releasing because it was come out in March. Fall Guy, then Dune 2 got pushed back to March. They go, we're going to do a summer movie because then there was no summer movie for the first week of May, which usually Avengers or Disney has that first Friday in May. I just don't know what happened, and everyone who's seen that movie loves it, or at least likes it. Like I met someone like, oh man, fuck that movie. Like no, everyone likes it or loves it. So it's like, what went wrong? So. David Leitch to me, I think that's his best movie. Is my favorite of his. I think Bullet Train's probably my favorite movie of his, but I think it's his best movie because like you can tell
Bullet Train fucking slaps.
I fucking love Bullet Train is so good. So I think with this movie was that he took what he's learned from Deadpool and John Wick and Tom McBlane and Bullet Train and whatever to this movie because also he's a former stuntman like Chad Stahelski, and you can tell like he put so much love into this movie, and I just don't know what happened. I just don't know why. At first, Nick knows this too, that like when that came out. And when that came out and when Furiosa flopped, I said, are we doomed again like last summer? Because last summer, Fast flopped, Indiana Jones flopped, The Flash flopped. I said, are we in for 2 summers of flops? I said, I hope not. But then Apes did pretty well. Bad Boys did very well. Twisters did very well. So I was like, thank God. But I don't know why Furiosa flopped. I don't know why. Also, everyone loves Mad Max Fury Road, so it's like, wait, how do we get from here to here? Like that made no sense.
I don't know.
It made no sense.
Maybe I don't know. I was gonna say maybe because it's like it took too long. It took too long to make it. Maybe because like
I can see that
it was 10
longer than like
the
hype.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you can also say it with like Avatar though. You can be like, oh, Avatar came in 2008. And then Avatar 2 came in like fucking 20 years later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you say that.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
You never know.
Yeah.
You
never know. Good point.
Yeah.
So I love The Fall Guy. Like I said, it was so much fun. It's why we go to the movies. It's why we love movies too. And it was so much fun. And I think that like if people watched on Peacock, loved it because it was the biggest Peacock like release ever, and it was a theatrical movie. But I love Ryan Gosling, I love David Leitch, I love Winston Duke, I love Emily Blunt. Aaron Taylor Johnson was so funny in it. Stephanie Hsu was really funny in it as well. Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso was really funny as well. Just the cast was perfect, and it was just a fun action comedy with romance. It just great movie. So number 3 is The Fall Guy. Number 2, Deadpool Wolverine. I love this movie so much. It's to me is like. How can you? At first, we were like, Disney's going to do Deadpool? Like, what the hell? Oh, you're bringing back Wolverine again. I was hyped for that, but I was like, After Logan was a perfect movie. Like, how do you like bring him back? And Sean Levy, Hugh, and Ryan cracked the code. To me, it's probably the funniest movie I've seen in a long time because I felt like, wow, like Ryan can get away with all this stuff that you couldn't do nowadays, like certain jokes here and there.
Yeah,
and it was just
and
so
with
much
Disney
fun.
specifically, because you get to can't really hold back. Like I'm sure they held back, but it wasn't like. Feels like watered down PG-13 Deadpool.
Right. And I was so worried because when they bought Fox, I said, here we go. Like, here we go. But the two things I said, apparently what I heard was that And I'm so glad they brought back Reese and Warnick, who wrote the first two. Because originally, if you don't remember this, they had the writers of Bob's Burgers, and I said, really? Like that? Why'd you fire the first two first two writers? And then apparently, what I heard was the script was like really bad, like not funny at all. And Ryan was like trying to work with them, and Ryan wasn't clicking. So then he brought Sean Levy in after Fall Guy and Free Guy and Adam Project, and they brought in Reese Warnick back, who also wrote the first two Deadpools, also wrote Zombieland with the first Zombieland movie and second Zombieland.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, good, you brought them back, good. And they have magic. You have a great writers with Zeb Wells, Sean Levy, Reese Warnick, and Ryan Reynolds. It just works. It's so funny. The opening scene, I was so hooked with Bye 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 by NSYNC. It's so funny. And the jokes were so funny. The whole thing with Logan, him opening the grave, digging up the grave is so funny. And to your point too, like those cameos this was a better Multiverse of Madness than Doctor Strange was. So
bro,
it was just like,
yeah, because it's like it was like actually a love letter to the fans,
yes.
like of like
it
was love letter to Fox, and also just to like the history of Wolverine in the comics.
Absolutely.
So that was just really cool to see. And like, again, they just kind of like, like, hey, fuck it. Here's Age of Apocalypse, Wolverine, all of that kind of. That was.
They brought it all together, and it was a good set. It was a good farewell to the Fox that we all grew up on. We all grew up on the Fox and universe. So also it was a story about friendship and trauma too. Like it's about trauma and friendship
and like and redemption too.
And redemption and legacy. Absolutely. So I loved it. I watched it, I think 3 or 4 times in theaters. I saw it with my dad. Saw it with myself. Saw it with a friend. I bought it on vinyl. Bought it on Blu-ray. I love that movie. So.
Dude, that's wait, what? You bought it on vinyl?
I have it do I have it here? My dog is right behind me. Hold up. Stop, Blue. Sorry, Blue.
Hold it up to the screen so I can see it.
I got it. That's Wu-Tang Clan. Nope. Here it is. There we go. There it is.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's dope. That's wild.
Wait, Doug, listen.
What?
Doug, you want to know the truth?
Wait, Doug, hold so I can see it.
Doug, Nick's screen.
I love that.
No,
that's it. I like that right there.
What I missed?
Nick's screen isn't on. It's.
I still see him.
Oh, like on my no, Doug, because Doug, check the group.
Check the group text. Oh,
literally, I forget like when it happened, but it was I don't know what's going on. It literally just is all black right now, so I can hear you guys perfectly.
Oh no!
It's saying like y'all see me, so like when I'm looking, audience. If you see what I'm looking, I'm just looking straight at the lens right here, so I can't see nothing. But hey,
can you see him, Moses?
Even though I can't see,
I can see him.
Can you see me?
I'm right here with.
I can see you. I see you perfectly. I see everybody perfectly. No,
I might just need a new laptop. I have had this one for a few years.
Wait! I'm showing the screen the vinyl, which is really cool. But however, the vinyl doesn't have the Madonna song, which just makes no sense.
Is that the vinyl right there?
Shut up! You're funny for that.
Because I love the design for it.
Oh, Nick.
What's the design for it? Huh? What is it?
In a word, indescribable.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, I have it on vinyl, and I love that movie. But I don't know why they didn't have the Madonna song on it, which makes no sense. But
that's crazy.
That's actually kind of they didn't have the Madonna song on there.
Yeah, I don't know why. It makes all of a sudden they have NSYNC, they have the Greatest Showman song, they have everything else, but not. I don't mind that Madonna song, but it is. But again, love that movie. So much fun. Hugh and Ryan. And again, to me, it was kind of like Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. 48 Hours. Had a kind of like that brother kind of fun kind of like bond to it. And then number one, surprise, anyone knows me or listen to the podcast, my favorite filmmaker of all time is Richard Linklater, and of course I'm going to go with Hitman. I have somewhere that
I should have known.
You can't see it in the bag, but Nick is awesome fiance Kaylin got me this awesome signed poster of Days Confused because it's my top 5 movies of all time. It knows me. I just admire Linklater so much, from Days Confused to School of Rock to Everybody Wants Some to Boyhood. I just love his movies. They just speak to me, and I just love his movies so much. It means a lot to me. Hopefully we can see him in Austin. Hopefully he's an Austin boy, like Glenn Powell and McConaughey and Mike Judge. Hope we can see them. We can see him in South by, hopefully in March. But Hitman, to me, again, to me, like I remember seeing Everybody Wants Some when I moved to Phoenix on the plane ride to Phoenix. It's just like I just love this movie so much. Like, I just love his work so much. So I watched all his movies again during college. I'm like, this guy's a fucking awesome filmmaker. So I didn't really care for Where'd You Go, Bernadette with Kate Blanchett. That wasn't a good movie of his. I was like, oh man, you let me down. So that I think it was last movie before that was like a animated kind of movie that was cute, but wasn't really my cup of tea. But still very well made. But Hitman to me, it was like him and Glenn Powell, and I love Glenn Powell because Everybody Wants Him and Top Gun and Anyone But You. Also, Glenn Powell had a funny cameo both in Dark Knight Rises and Ride Along 2.
Okay, I remember it I remember Dark Knight Rises. I haven't seen Ride Along 2.
Yeah, I remember Dark Knight Rises. I forgot about Ride
Along 2 is the opening scene. Oh. It's Ice Cube and Tyrese Gibson, and Glenn Powell's kind of playing like the fucking like drug kingpin in Ride Along.
Oh wow,
it's a weird cameo, but
y'all know he was with Spy Kids 3.
That's so he played like the arena kid.
Kind of like yeah.
So, but go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I said you first. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, people assume like actors have just like pop out of nowhere, but they don't realize that they've been working for forever. You know, they've been working forever. They'd be like, oh, where's he? Where he showed up out of nowhere? It's like, did you not see his resume? You know, but yeah, you know, like he's killing it.
I remember someone saw everybody wants him, and I said, "Who is this guy?" And I'm like, "Who is this actor?" And I was like, 10 years ago, I was like, "Watch this dude. He's got the stuff. He's got the stuff. Get the magic as an actor.
Yeah, good stuff.
He got the stuff." And sure enough, he's been working for a while. And I'm like, I love seeing him in a movie, kind of like an Ocean's 11 movie, like him and like John David Washington, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yo, that'd be so cool.
Like Henry Golding.
Hey.
I know. Moses is like, don't do it, bro. Moses is like, don't do it, bro.
Hey, that was too fire. That was too fire.
To our audio listeners, Moses knows. Good call, Moses. Good call.
So what happened?
Moses doing the Hollywood thing of like, shh, keep your idea to yourself.
Oh, true. Dang, yeah. Good call, Moses.
That was fire. I was like, whoa, okay.
To see kind of like the cool young but like working actors now, like Michael B. Jordan, him, John David Washington, stuff like that. Kind of so getting the movie together was cool. But Hitman to me, it's funny, it's slick, it's sexy, it's very suave, it's a lot of fun. The writing of Linklater and Glenn Powell. Oh, she's gorgeous.
What's her name again?
Adriana Arona.
Adriana, yeah, she was incredible. You know some of the lovemaking scenes were actually like her ideas.
Oh, really? Hey,
yeah,
she was
like
chemistry.
Because she was like it needs to be more sexy or whatever. You know, and you know, and I think the director was like, "What are you thinking about?" I was like, "We need to do." I have this idea about us drinking wine naked in the patio or whatever. But
God damn,
it's
I mean, that was her idea. But yeah, man,
I might have to watch this movie.
Oh, I'll watch it with you. It's what? Oh my gosh! I was watching to kind of confirm my top 10 today. I was watching during my lunch break. I said, man, this movie's so fucking good, and it's so cool. And to me, it was like why I love Linklater so much, because his writing is so like, it's clever, it's very witty, and it's very funny. But also like you blend because like it's not like a hitman like John Wick, or kind of like hitman movie. It's more of like a character study of this true story about this guy who was a college professor who worked for the New Orleans Police Department undercover to kind of like catch people who wanted to kill people basically. And it's a very wild premise.
It's a very wild premise. But it was 100%. I'm so glad I watched it in theaters. To be honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Moses.
I did too. Whenever it's funny, man. Whenever I just respect films that are shown in theaters a little bit more, and
I agree.
And it's harder for me to watch the movie in streaming.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Because the movie theater just like, it's got this whole atmosphere. It creates like a more like immersive experience for me.
Yeah, it's funny because I haven't seen that movie. Sorry to like kind of go off a little bit. I haven't seen that movie with what's his name? That Axel.
Beverly Hills Cop.
The
Axel Foley.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. No, I still haven't seen it. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. I still haven't seen that movie yet.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
It to me, Paramount sold before COVID hit. Paramount sold a lot of their movie rights to streaming services. So they sold Beverly Hills Cop to Netflix and Coming to America to Amazon Prime. So I don't know really why they did that personally, but I think that could have been because the summer you have Twisters, Bad Boys, and Beverly Hills Cop. That I think we would have crushed the box office. It's a fun movie. It's definitely formulaic. Don't get me wrong, but like Eddie Murphy on the big screen again. Remember seeing Dolomite at the premiere? Like we were like going crazy. It was so much fun seeing Eddie Murphy on the big screen with the cast there or whatever. Like, it was so much fun because Eddie Murphy is like he's a movie star. We grew up watching.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he's a legend.
He's a legend. So I don't really know why, but I'm with you though. I saw Hitman. Yeah, I'm biased because I love Linklater so much. So I'm like I saw the movie in theaters, but also I don't know. I don't get this too. How every studio said no to that movie. That to me is crazy. You have Glenn Powell.
That's crazy.
Glenn Powell. You have Linklater, who is a Oscar level caliber director, very beloved too. No one wants that movie. Every studio passed on that movie, and the only one that bid on it was Netflix. And I'm with you. You know the show too. Everyone knows the show. We're very pro theatrical and pro movie theater going experience. I do not know why studios were like, nah, this ain't good. To your point too, Moses, like he's kind of like the kind of it actor right now too. So it's like, why don't you want to capitalize on that? So
yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep in Running Man. You know,
I cannot.
I'm excited to see Running Man.
Him and Edgar Wright. I can't wait.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, with Edgar Wright.
Oh,
if you guys seen the movie, the show. Wait, actually, no. It's the different TV show.
Chad Powers. He's playing Chad Powers, which is like based off of a Eli Manning quarterback thing, which is kind of funny for Hulu next year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's gonna be good. But no, again, I love Hitman. I saw it in theaters too. I remember seeing it opening. I saw it when it came out at Scottsdale Theater when it came out that weekend. It was packed. I think it was like Memorial Day. It was a packed theater. I was like, this is great. But yeah, again, I'm biased because I love Linklater so much. I love this movie so much. It's funny. It's cool. Had a great pace. It just went. And again, it was a great. It was clever, witty, funny. It had some good action when I want some action at times, but it kept you guessing. It also kept you kind of like on your edge of like, whoa, like what's gonna happen next? And it was like, wait a second. And I think Glenn Powell was smart to do this movie, Top Gun, Anyone But You, this movie, then Twisters, all in the same 2 years, that's pretty baller if you ask me. So
that's crazy. You know what I mean? I hope his career is, long last and keeps on growing.
Absolutely. So just to recap again, mine, number 1, I have Hitman, 2, Deadpool & Wolverine, 3, The Fall Guy, 4, Saturday Night, 5, Dune Part 2, 6, Wicked, 7, Abigail, 8, Strange Darling, 9, Anora, and 10, The Substance. Like I said, this has been an amazing year for filmmaking and cinema, both original filmmaking, studio, independent, original film, franchise, IP. There's some, again, it was hard to do this list this year because there were so many good movies. And I think 2025 is gonna be even better. If not better, we're gonna see what happens next. So,
what's crazy?
Yeah,
I mean, I was gonna say, like our list, 3 of us are so completely different.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
No, they're all completely so different. It's like I was like, wait a minute, they don't have this movie. Wow, that's crazy. Which is great. You can tell the difference between like how we know each other as like friends and everything like that. Love like movies that are completely different and everything.
Absolutely.
Moses is like, no one else had Horizon on their list. He's like, was it just me?
Hey, Nick, can you see me right now?
Can you see me right now?
Keep trying me, damn it.
Oh my God. Can you see me now?
I can't see, but I can feel it right now.
I'm not sure. Well, because Horizon Part 1 did so poorly, Moses will never have Part 2 on his list because it got pulled. Skadoosh.
Yo, come on, you guys are hating on Horizon. It's on Max for people that haven't seen Horizon. You can see it on.
It's also on Netflix now, I think too.
It's on Netflix now. So if you guys love, Western films and everything like that, definitely go see it.
What I'm not.
You're not going to see the Wild Wild West, goddammit.
Oh God.
Watch Wild Wild West.
Oh Lord.
It's a classic, man. At least for nostalgia purposes.
He did a song for that movie too, didn't he?
Yeah, which was also called Wild Wild West, and it was like a take on it was like a Stevie Wonder song, which I forget which song it was, but in the music video, he actually had Stevie Wonder like appear in it, so that was kind of cool.
Oh my gosh, I love Will Smith, but my man, you're better than this. There it is. There he is.
That's it.
There he is.
Wow.
I can fix that.
Oh.
Yeah, there he is. There's that movie.
Which movie?
Crazy.
There's Wild Wild West. You can't even see. You can't even see, man. Man, this is your movie too, man. Shame on you.
Listen, man, that's my shit. Y'all ain't gonna talk bad about Wild Wild West.
Also, didn't Will Smith get offered? He got offered Django at first, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
That's right. He went more of like a love. He wanted more of like a love story, right?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I'm glad. You know, Jamie Foxx.
Same here.
Jamie Foxx used to be in more roles. Hold on, Jamie Foxx used to be in more.
I agree.
No disrespect to Will Smith. It would not have worked, at least as well as it did, if it was Will Smith in that role instead of Jamie Foxx.
I agree. Jamie Foxx,
in my opinion.
That's my favorite Tarantino movie because Jamie Foxx is he's so good, and you know the writing course is so good. I count two guns. I love that movie, and it's so good. Or he goes, tell Miss Sheila I said goodbye. What? I said, tell Miss Sheila goodbye. Bye, Miss Sheila. He just shoots her.
No, that was insane. That was the scene right there.
She goes flying back. It's so. I love that movie. But yeah, I'm glad Jamie Foxx was in that of Will Smith. Yeah, I love Will Smith, but it was like Jamie Foxx. That was he killed it. But I'm with you, man. Jamie Foxx is one of my heroes, man. Cause I think he can act. He's funny. He can dance. He can sing. He's an Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah.
Also,
too, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. I know he's gonna be in this one movie on Netflix.
Cameron Diaz.
With Cameron Diaz and everything.
What is it called?
That's not a movie for
Back in Action.
Back in Action. That's right.
Yeah, that's not really our forte or anything like that. But I just want him to be in films that are more, you know.
I like the one you worked on, the one with the vampires.
You know, it's funny. I still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, Day Shift?
Was it Day Shift?
Day Shift, yeah.
It was. I watched it for you because I want to support you, and I watched it with Jamie Foxx as well. But it was definitely it's clunky, but it was fun. It's fun.
No, I mean, yeah, man. It was definitely it was definitely a fun shoot. I was only there for like a few weeks and everything like that to do because I was in the second unit, doing stunts and everything like that, which was cool. So, but yeah.
Also, he was really funny. It was a voice only, but he was funny in Strays as the little dog. Yeah, it was really funny in Strays.
That was the good one.
It was funny in Strays. Was funny. And yeah, I love seeing him in Spider-Man, of course. What was the one? To me, he stole the show in Baby Driver, and Horrible Bosses as Motherfucker Jones.
That name is crazy. I still got to see the Horrible Bosses movies. Like I started the first one.
My bad.
No, you're good, bro. Because I saw like I saw some of the first one, but I haven't seen the second one yet though. It's funny though. Like the stuff that I saw, I'm like, this movie's kind of wild. And I feel like they don't really do comedies like that anymore.
No.
Where it's just like they don't really hold back with the jokes.
Yeah. He to me he's so funny. He's so funny. Horrible Bosses. he steals the scenes that he's in. But to Moses' point too, I kind of want to see him in more stuff like like Collateral again. Like do more kind of Collateral kind of movie. Like that's my shit.
Yeah. No,
Collateral. That's my shit right there, man.
No, it's just more theatrical films.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not even like about like streaming servers or anything like that. No hate or any of that. Just more films, that can be streaming, but also just make it theatrical too as well. That's what I'm just trying to say.
I agree.
And because you can't waste talent like that.
No, I agree. I agree. And also, I both agree that he got snubbed for Just Mercy. He got snubbed.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
Mercy.
he did.
He
Yeah,
was so good in Just Mercy, and he got snubbed. I was like, oh, he's gonna get the Oscar for sure. And then we kind of just went away too. I was like, what?
yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a shame. But with that said, everybody, that is our top 10s of 2024. Let us know in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple what your favorite movies of the year were, or honorable mentions is what we want to hear from you guys. I will tease this too. Look out for our socials. We're promoting our first movie of the new year. It's Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon, called You're Cordially Invited. So look out for that. We're gonna kind of the promotion of that right now. So look out for our socials, both on Instagram and our Linktree and YouTube. We'll do some kind of like announcement of that shortly when we finalize some information. So look out for that. But before we go, guys, where can our lovely audiences find you at home? Moses, you first, my friend.
You can find me. you can.
I knew you were gonna say 2025. Keep the train going.
No.
Start off right, Moses. Started off.
Your grandma's house.
No.
You said mom's house last year. Now it's your grandma's.
It was the little chuckle. I was like, oh shit.
Here we go.
Oh shit.
Because Nick can't see you.
I know.
Nah.
Nick
I can't see you, but I can hear you though, man.
Oh my goodness.
No. You can find me on my website.
Yes.
Directed by MosesLawi.com. You can find me on Instagram, of course, MosesLawi_. And of course, you can always find me here. On this, the Genre of Your Life podcast.
Thank you for reminding me, because I am now going to be posting that on our Linktree. Thank you, Moses. Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna put that right on our Linktree. Thank you for reminding me. All right, Nick, you're up, my friend.
So you can find me on or at Donning Vision on YouTube, capital D as in Donning, capital V as in Vision. On Instagram at Donning Vision, all lowercase, all one word. And if you want to follow my personal, that's Ahmad Johnson 98 on Instagram. And is that it? No, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Pretty simple.
Sweet.
We can't find you here, bro.
I mean, of course you can find me here. That was implied. They already know that they can find me here. I'm always gonna be here.
And you can find me at Instagram at The Young Jones. You can follow me on Twitter or X at Capri_Son, Capri_SON. And then, of course, you can find the show socials at Midway Avenue Productions on TikToks, on Instagram, also YouTube, of course. Again, our Linktree. Support these guys, man. These guys both have amazing short films on our Linktree, both award-winning short films. Nick's article. Now you can find Moses' website as well. It's an awesome website. Support these guys. Like I said, we have a lot in store for you all for 2025. Hope you guys are enjoying your new year so far. Thanks for coming back to listen to us ramble about our show, about all things movie, shows, entertainment. We're here to kind of entertain you, get you through the day or night, evening, afternoon, whatever, long drive, working out, whatever. We're here for you. Maybe even kind of like downtime. That's what we're here for. But until then, my friends, have a lovely first week of the new year. And, of course, we'll see you guys all at the movies.